Welcome back to the deep dive. So let's talk about a problem that I think anyone who's ever worked on a serious AV install knows all too well.
Oh, I know this one. The pain point.
The pain point.
Yeah.
You're trying to push a high-res signal, right? A full-spec 4K 60 video signal.
Over long distance.
Over a long distance, yeah. Maybe 15, 20 meters using just a standard copper HDMI cable.
And you get nothing. Or worse, you get that flicker. I've seen 2 full days just wasted on troubleshooting because someone tried to stretch a copper cable a few meters too far.
It's a real challenge. So today we dug into the specs for the PureLink EZH2-030-DT. It's a 30-meter detachable fiber optic cable.
Okay.
And the core promise here is full 4K 60, 4.4.4 color, HDCP 2.2 compliant, and all of that with no external power.
Right. And that's a big promise. The foundation of it is, well, it's all about the raw data rate.
Bandwidth.
Exactly, the bandwidth. To even get that 4K 60 picture with the full, uncompressed color spectrum, you have to hit the HDMI 2.0 maximum requirement.
It's a massive number.
It's huge. We're talking 18 gigabits per second. That's 6 GBPs for each of the 3 channels. And it has to flow perfectly or the whole picture just breaks down.
And that 4.4.4 spec is so critical. If you're into professional displays or, high-end home theaters, it's non-negotiable.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's the difference between seeing a perfect picture and seeing one where some color information has been, let's say, estimated to save bandwidth. 4.4.4 means every single pixel is perfect.
Especially for HDR content.
Especially for HDR. And to make that 18 GBP signal actually usable, you have to check all the compliance boxes.
Right, let's break those down. We see these acronyms all the time.
Okay, so HDCP 2.2 is basically the content cop. It's the security check. No check, no picture.
Simple as that.
Then you have CEC. That's for commands, like your Blu-ray player telling your TV to turn on. And then pass-through EDDI is just the handshake. It's how the source and the display agree on the best format to use instantly.
Okay, so speaking of simplicity, let's talk about power. Because fiber optic cables, historically, they've needed a power source, right?
They absolutely have. Usually a little power brick at the display end to run the conversion chipsets.
But the biggest claim here is that this is just plug and play. No wall wart required.
None. And get this, the spec sheet says it draws a maximum of only 250 milliwatts.
250 milliwatts, that's almost nothing.
It's basically nothing. It just pulls that tiny bit of power right from the HDMI port on the source device. I mean, that's the real technological leap here.
So the fiber solves the distance and the chip design solves the power issue.
That's the engineering triumph. Modern, super optimized chipsets handling that massive conversion on less power than a phone charger.
And that efficiency, that low power, it links directly to the physical installation, which is a huge deal over 30 meters.
Oh, for sure.
You can't pull a bulky HDMI head through a narrow conduit. It's just not possible.
Right. And that's why the detachable connectors are so important. They call it ultimate convenience. And for an installer, it really is. You pull the slim fiber, then you just click on the professional-grade connectors at the end.
So no external power, easy routing. That really opens up where you can use this.
Exactly. This is for corporate AV systems, complex digital signage indoors and outdoors, and those high-end home theaters where all the source equipment is in a central rack far away.
Okay, so if it's that simple and robust, what about durability? What kind of environments can it handle?
Well, they cite a 50,000-hour mean time between failures, which suggests a really robust lifespan.
50,000 hours, that's a long
A
time.
very long time. And an operating temperature up to 50 degrees Celsius. But here's a key one for certain projects. It's TAA compliant.
Which for anyone listening who works on government or university infrastructure projects, that's not a nice to have.
It's a mandatory checkbox. It keeps the bid viable for those major long-term installations.
So let's bring this all together. What's the main takeaway for you? It seems like fiber optics are finally letting high-end video, that full 18 GBPs 4K 60 signal, escape the old distance limits of copper. And it's doing it while staying surprisingly plug and play. All thanks to these incredibly efficient chip designs.
That's it. But, if we connect this back to the bigger picture for professional systems, I want to leave you with a final thought.
Okay.
This cable also has an option for a standard 19-inch rack-mountable enclosure. So for the installer working on a major facility, think a data center or a university or a government building, how does that combination of rack mounting and TA compliance actually influence its suitability?
It's not just a single cable purchase at that point.
It's not. It becomes an investment in a long-term, scalable architecture. It completely changes the conversation.